Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the Little Reader's House. I don't know if you just heard my neck crack, but it did. So, I'm moving earth for you over here, darling. I'm cracking bones. Probably important to mention, I am the Little Reader, also known as Amanda, also known as somebody who loves you dearly. And it's a pleasure and honor to have you here. Today's reading is called What is Blocking Your Joy? And I'll have this entire spread down below in the comments so that you can do it for yourself if you want to even customize it further, if the idea resonates, or if, as I sometimes do, you want to check back in with your own journey through this spread, through this information you get today, and check in on yourself in a week or two to see where you are. So all of this will be down below, but I just want to highlight this little note that I wrote for you down at the bottom. It says, baby, joy is your birthright in any circumstance. It cannot be faked. It is a river. Let it drown you. Okay? So this is your typical, well, not so typical, darling. You are in the Little Reader's House, but this is a pick a card reading. So you'll pick a pile, you'll go through these decks, and you'll feel into it, and you'll see what vibrates with you. And you'll allow the electromagnetic field of your body, which is a combination of your heart's beat and your nervous system, be attracted to a color, a shape, a vibe, however you interpret frequency, a thought, a feeling, or just a random decision. You're just like, number three, that's it. You'll let yourself be drawn to it. You may come back again and again to this reading and pick different piles over time. That's totally fine. But today, for fun, we're going to do a little something different. So in addition to showing you all the piles, as I will shortly, we're going to ask a question. So we'll let the dice be assigned each randomly to a pile, and then I'm going to intuit, channel a question for you. And you can hear all 4 questions, and when you've heard them, whichever one your heart wants to answer or is most drawn to, that is your pile, if you want to play this game. If not, you don't have to, my dear. All right, so you go with you, you go with you, you go with you, and you go with you. Whoa. This is crazy. Okay, that's, you know what's really crazy? The moon and the moon. So already there's an energy of mystery, an energy of dealing with uncertainty and trusting the void is already linked to all of us. So let's start with number 1. The first deck that we have here is the Wild Unknown Tarot by Kim Krans. Love it. Let's just peep the top. Oh, the Lovers right there at the top. I did not know that. That was not planned. That's our first crew, and the crew is going to be known as the Crescent Moon Crew. Can you see this? Is that even visible? Oh, the camera, she moved. The Crescent Moon Crew. Now, this is a waning moon, okay? Visible moon sliver on the left. Left, yin, reduction. At least I think that's true. So I'm going to ask you, your question, if you're attracted to this pile, is what are you afraid to let go of? Because if you do, you won't know who you are anymore. Okay, that's my Crescent Moon Crew right here. Bing! Over here, we've got, well, hold that thought, baby. We've got the Antique Anatomy Tarot. A beautiful deck. It's antique looking. We've got Judgment in reverse right here. Let me flip it around so you can get a look at the aesthetic. What that says, don't ask me. I don't know. Something Latin. I'll get back to you on that. Okay, so that is the deck. And then here we've got the element of water. Element of water. Now, that looks like a teardrop to me, baby. So what I'm channeling in for you, the question I'm channeling in for you is, what has been making you weep? What has been making you sad? Either for a long time or just recently. What has been moving the waters in you? And if you're like, bitch, I don't weep. How about you Check yourself before you wreck yourself, girl, E-pop. Then I say to you this, wow, help. What is making you sweat? What is making you sweat? Could be the gym. That would show your motivation, wouldn't it? Aesthetics. I must look a certain way. The stress of performativity. Don't let me cut you too deep, baby. What is making you weep? What is making you sweat? Beautiful. Next we have, whoa, what is the name of this? I don't know, actually. This was a gifted deck. I've never seen it used before anywhere else. And I will put the name down below. Mystery deck, we'll call it that. Top. 8 of Pentacles. Ooh. Fancy that, eh? Very cool artwork in this deck. Very unique. It's got 4 languages. Technically 5 if you're counting English. So it's broad, my love. It's broad. Now, we've got here the number 6, which we can look at as numerology, but I committed to looking at it as the 6th house. Please forgive the weird zooming issues that we're having here today. The 6th house. So you are my 6th house crew. And the question that I'm going to ask you is based on the 6th house, which I need to get some information about. 6th. Health. Daily routine. Ooh, love it already. Also reminds me of the Lover's card, you know? Decisions. Here's the question for you. Would you want the person you love most in this world, beside yourself, to take care of their health the way you take care of yours? Would you want the person you love most in this world to take care of their health the way you take care of theirs? Whoops, to take care of their health the way you take care of yours. That's your question. And then finally, the movie tarot for my stars, for my Hollywood moguls. Of course, there's so many of you. Oh, look at that. Ace of Wands right there. Bruce Lee, is that you? It could be. It's a very high chance that is Bruce Lee. Ooh. So this is the movie tarot. Says it right on the front, self-explan. And you got the full moon. That is right up my alley, baby. The full moon. You're my full moon crew. This is all about manifestation, things coming to light. Your question is, what do you believe needs to manifest in your life for you to feel complete? What do you believe needs to manifest in your life for you to feel complete? All right, that is our out-of-the-box, unique, unusual pick a card intro. Once again, I'm sorry for all the zooming in and the zooming out. I don't know what's going on with the camera, which is also my phone. It can be hard to navigate, but you know what? No excuses. If you stuck around, you stayed, you're in for a treat. Now, whether you're part of my Crescent Moon crew, my Teardrop crew, my 6th house crew, or my full moon crew, you know what to do. Drop down to the description box, choose the shortcut that starts off with your pile, and let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. You know what I'm saying? Okay, see you there, baby. Bye. Hello, my sweet and beautiful Crescent Moon crew. What an honor to have you here. What an honor to have you represented in this little die. I'm going to set you off to the side, and we're going to get started. But before we do, here in the Little Reader's house, we have one religion, darling, and one religion alone. It's that you are so very worthy of love. Always more, never less. That's the religion. So stick it in your pipe, smoke it well, and know that I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Worthy of joy, worthy of light, worthy of feeling the divine force that animates you. Wow, I don't know what that was, but it was fun. Worthy of feeling that divine force as a living, breathing experience, not just as an idea, not just as a manifestation machine, not just as a 1 in a million. You know, you don't have to be special to be worthy of love, and you don't have to be not special to be worthy of love. You just have to be yourself, okay? So here in the house, we see you. There's no hiding. It's all unequivocal. Sight. You're known, you're seen, and you're loved for all your light and all your shadow. So we're starting out with the spread, baby. Tarot, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got our rows. I'm going to break it all down for you. All you got to do is have fun. That's it. Take notes if you want them. Listen while you brush your teeth or, you know, pick your nose or whatever you get up to in the nights or the mornings. Totally up to you, baby. Just let it sink in, because the experience itself, just sharing space here in the house, is enough to transform you. So you made the right choice by being here today. Your blocking belief that's stopping your joy from flowing right now, my love. Because that's what it all gets down to, is the belief. Oh, it's right here. Funny we would talk about tradition. We'll get into it in a second. And we'll look at where the belief came from. That's next. Where the belief originated. Oh, where it came from. We'll look at how it manifests into behavior. How it turns into what you do. Whoa. Barosif. And then we'll look at how to unstick that motherfucker, because that is what's written here. How to unstick that motherfucker. Okay? So we'll do that. Oh my Goddington. These are some of the most beautiful cards I've ever seen in my wild life. You've got the star, you've got the sun. It's all coming clear, darling. So I'm going to talk to you about it, my beautiful crescent moon crew. Something's waning for you, right? Crescent moon. Something is shrinking, something is waning, and I think it's actually a shadow. So in a non-traditional sense, I interpret this to mean, and non-tradition is where we're headed with you, because tradition is like your big sticking point. We'll talk about it more in a sec, but we're going to go non-traditionally with this interpretation. What's waning for you is shadows. It's fear, it's indecision, it's a lack of self-trust. So kind of in a beautiful way, yes, shit is shrinking, but that shit is your shadows. You're a person who's found yourself held back by indecision, found yourself held back by an unclear identity. And with you, I feel an enormous amount of pride, an enormous amount of, and I don't mean that in a negative way, pride. I mean an enormous amount of self-knowledge and an enormous amount of light. You have worked through so much, both egoically and spiritually, and you've done this beautiful integration, no question about it. But there's still a conformity to the way you think you're supposed to be. And what's happened is, excuse me, love, what's happened is, back in childhood, let's say, for example, the messages about who and what you were supposed to be were very superficial. And as you got older, they were easy for you to discard. It's like, oh, you must be rich, you must be successful, you must have a home, you must have a family, whatever the messaging was, traditional. You must be straight, whatever it was. And you threw those out progressively, choom, 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 as the years went on. You're like, nope, 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 nope. You sifted through them well. But what happened is those ideas of what you were supposed to be actually contorted and shifted and got a little sneakier. So they started to become things like, you need to be a hard worker or you're not worthy. You need to be always well-liked or you're not worthy. You need to be decisive or you're not worthy. You need to have your manifestations come to fruition every time or you're not worthy. You need to be right or you're not worthy. So in other words, they shifted from the messaging that other people gave you. That was easy for you to discard. But it became this nefarious sort of messaging that you started to give yourself about who and what you're supposed to be worthy of love and to be worthy of joy. And it's big because we've got here, and I don't do math because, well, I don't even know. Don't talk to me. Actually, in college, I was really good at math, but in high school I was not. So we'll talk about that another time. Anyway, don't do math, but I do see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana cards out of a 9-card spread. So what percent, or rather, what is 6 out of 9 in terms of percentage out of 100? X of 100, blah, 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 blah. You do that for me, baby. I'm just saying it's major. It's intense. Once you get over this, your life changes. And you already know that. You're already so successful. You're already so happy. You're already so joyful. Truly, you do radiate so much and you bring joy to so many. I think what you really need is just a hand on your shoulder to say, baby, Crescent Moon Crew, you're enough. You're doing enough. You're killing the game. Deep inhala with me. Deep exhala with me. It's all good. So, starting off with number 1, the blocking belief. Rules, conformity. We covered it. Deep in your subconscious, perhaps, or very much at the forefront of your conscious, I don't know, are these rules and regulations about who you're meant to be, who you ought to be. And just because, my beautiful Crescent Moon Crew, you discarded what the world told you you should be, does not mean you set yourself free. With the 7 of Swords in reverse here, there are still elements of the truth of you that hide because they don't feel worthy of the standards and the rules you set for yourself. There are also aspects of your truth that haven't been fully expressed. You do something that I do, or used to do a lot, not so much anymore, which is that I would make jokes and disguise my truth as a joke, and then like drop that on my family during Sunday night dinner and just be like, haha, hee hee. Yep, one day I'm gonna be the president of the United States of America. Wouldn't that be dumb? Blah, blah, blah. And then, but inside I'm like burning with ambition. And what I want to say is, listen, all of you at this table, you better look at me with some respect because I'm gonna be somebody someday. That's what kind of I was trying to say. And maybe you do that a little, same as me. Hey, I love it. Let's shake hands over that. That's very cute. It's like you can express the things, the truths of you, sort of, like they're bottlenecking up a little bit. Because the belief is, if I don't say it just right, or I don't communicate it just right, or I don't present the key just right, or get the point across, or know the audience, then I'm not really allowed to be me. And my sweet Crescent Moon Crew, that could not be further from the truth. Here's the truth for you. Write it down if you like. Nobody has to understand you for you to be worthy of full expression. Nobody has to understand you for you to be worthy of full expression. Number 2 is where the belief came from. We got our 2 of Swords clarified by our 4 of Swords. What a thing. There's definitely something about indecision here. But it's more than that. It's not so simple as indecision, and this is our only row without major arcana. That's significant. There's something about the smallness of you here. The belief came from believing that you and your words matter more than anything in this world, or they don't matter at all. The word domain is coming up. Good way to say this is, and maybe you're like a web designer or something, you got a domain or a domain name, or you've been like fussing with a domain lately. But domain comes up to say, you've had a little bit of a struggle finding your place and finding where to position your power. And especially in youth with the lamb here, it's like there were other stronger voices in the house that said, how about you just shut up, Crescent Moon Crew, and let the adults do the talking. Let us figure it out. It kind of made you relegate your power and the power of your words to certain moments. Like you have to be opportunistic about when you're allowed, once again, to fully express yourself. Hold on, is there a hair on this table? Sure is, we're moving it. Okay, you have to be opportunistic about when it's appropriate to be you and when it's not. When you're allowed to make decisions and when you're not. And the thing is, the belief came from not being given the opportunity to make certain decisions that should have been yours, then being given too much leeway and too much freedom to make decisions that shouldn't have been yours. What an interesting psychological phenomenon, my love. This is definitely giving a non-traditional childhood upbringing. And believe me, my love, no one knows that more than yours truly. No one's more familiar. We'll also talk about that another time. But check it out. It's like you can choose, how could I give you an example of this? Let's say in childhood, it's like you can choose your entire career and you need to choose what you want to be doing and how you want to be doing it, but you're not allowed to choose how you want to wear your hair. Does that make sense? So given leeway, for example, over the macro of your life, which as a child is overwhelming and unnecessary, but not being given any leeway or freedom over the micro of your life, the little things, how you wear your hair, how you express yourself, how you dress. This is an example, but it could be the flipped. It could be the opposite. You have total control over the micro. You can choose how you wear your hair and how you dress, but I, your caregiver, have decided the entire trajectory of your life. So it doesn't even have to be that direct. It doesn't even have to be from caregivers. With the Hierophant here, it could have been structures. It could have been the city you grew up, the era you grew up in. Did you come up in the 70s, 80s, or 90s? Think about all the cultural norms and how they informed your decisions and how they might have made you feel that if you didn't conform to the norm, then you were not allowed to be yourself, or that you had to find yourself within a niche, within some aspect of that time period, of that fashion, of those cultural norms, of those societally accepted occupations. You get it? So here the belief originated from a flipped ability to determine your own selfhood. So naturally now you have thrown away so many of those rules. You've really exorcised so many of those demons, and you're not held down to those norms anymore, except for the ones that you created for yourself. So how does this manifest as behavior? Well, right now it's like, in this day and age, my beautiful Crescent Moon crew, as of today, you're full speed aheading into every decision that you make. With the Chariot and the Lovers here, and it's interesting because the Chariot, I believe, is ruled by Cancer, and there are elements of family and love and relationship there. And then we also have the Lovers here, which is about choice and decision, yes, but it's also about love and romance. There is this hyper commitment or over commitment to that which pulls your heartstrings. And my God, if this isn't relatable, once again, I tell you, we would be the best of friends, bud. Let's just shake hands once more, because I can so relate. It's like, whatever the heart says, we're full speed ahead. It must work. It must happen. Because I sensed it, because I felt it. This has got to be the way. Because it came to me, I am now compelled to see it through. And this can actually manifest as overcommitment. So the blocking belief is that you have to be the person you say you are. You have to be aligned with the rules, what you've set for yourself about your values and how a good person is and behaves. It came from this inability to be totally free in the times that mattered in your youth. It's okay, we don't have to resolve it. That's just an origin that it's important to pay attention to as it resurfaces again in your present day. And then number 3, how it manifests as behavior is overcommitment. I must see these things through. And there's a level of pride here. Not pride because you think you're the bestest and the westest and that you're better than anybody else. No, my sweet Crescent Moon crew, that's not it at all. Okay? You're so highly evolved in terms of your big picture view and what your soul sees and knows and feels. Where it starts to become little picture is when you're focusing on yourself. That's where that big picture view that you're so beautifully cultivated starts to shrink. And you become trapped by your own decisions, by having to keep moving. And the way that this could cause indecision is that you might stop yourself from moving forward because you're afraid of what it would mean to commit. You might stop yourself from making certain decisions in certain areas of your life. I'm not saying all of them. You know the ones. Because of what you believe you would have to do to make it happen. Okay, so that's how it's manifesting as your behavior. It's either a charge forward in what I do decide to the final death breath, or stop myself because I'm believing that that's what I'm going to have to do once I make that decision. Both, my love, are erroneous. You are able to change course at any time. You are able to pivot, and not every decision is a marriage. Okay. A decision is just a day. A decision is just a day. One day at a time. Number 4, how to unstick that motherfucker. The sun upright and the hermit in reverse. With the star here as your back of the deck energy, it tells me that you've got to give yourself grace. Don't gag. I know, you're like, grace, Amanda. Shove it up your arse. I know, my love. I know, if you're here in the house, you're already a self-love mogul. You already know about grace and communication, psychology, spirituality. Put it all together, and what have you got? Healthy habits, right? Wrong. When it comes to looking at ourselves, again, that is where the lens becomes the most narrow and the most foggy. So you have 20/20 vision with your entire exterior world. Gorgeous. I'd love to talk with you. The things you see, baby. But when it comes to you, you are too hard on yourself, too rigid, too structured, and you expect too much. You expect yourself to overcommit, to have all the answers, to see things through to the end, because if you don't, you fucking failed. No, baby. No. You are the star. What I need you to do to unstick this and start feeling your joy is to see yourself clearly. Come out of your shell first with some of the things you're not expressing, okay? Your needs, your hopes, your dreams. I'm going to give you one that you might not love, baby. Your vulnerabilities, okay? Come out of the shell and start shining that light. And then let yourself be seen for who you are. Give yourself every day as an opportunity to celebrate what you've already accomplished and the beauty of your light, the beauty of your character as it is. You are so wise, so smart, so sharp, so forward-thinking. And I almost feel you rolling your eyes like you don't believe that, so please stop. Just listen. This is my soapbox. And I'm telling you, you're so excellent, but you're not celebrating it enough. So start to celebrate yourself more. Take pictures of yourself. More selfies. Share your creativity if you've got it. Don't force yourself to create if it's not flowing, but share what you are doing already. You don't have to do more, have more, be more committed, or see anything new through to be worthy of celebration. Because there are people who want to lift you up. You're already the star. It's the only one who doesn't see it here is you, my love. And that is what is blocking your joy. And we just can't have that. It's already ready to explode all over you. It really is. For you to feel what you dream of feeling. And I bet you I can suss out some of what you dream of feeling just looking at this. You seem ambitious. You dream of feeling validated, accomplished, top of your field, especially professionally. You dream of respect, earning it, getting it. And what I'm telling you is that you've already got it. You're already worthy of the respect. What young Amanda at the dinner table, when she dropped the joking bomb that she was going to be president of the US of A, back when she was 9 or whatever. Hey, don't forget to vote for me in my campaign, 2036. But what she was trying to say is that she just wanted to be respected. She wanted to be seen for her great ideas and her young leadership. What I, as an adult, realize now is that 9-year-old Amanda was already worthy of that. 9-year-old Amanda was a cutting-edge badass. So are you. You don't want to wait till the end of the line to realize that you are a badass the whole time. That's your message, my beautiful Crescent Moon crew. Let the shame of being incomplete or having not made your greatest works yet fade. Let that fade. And instead understand you're already the star. You're already the one. You're already seen. You're already loved. You're already excellent. Boom. Now, let's get to your oracles. Starting with number 1, what you learned from this belief. Oh, choice. Okay. The miracle you now possess, scarab, beetle, spirit, magic works through you, sure does, and where to spot your joy. Vesica, Pisces. Don't make me pronounce that, my love, because I can't. And it's in reverse. So take a look at the color palette here too. We've got our reds, we've got our brights, we've got some green in there. That's root, that's heart. So what you learned from this belief, if it hasn't fully crystallized yet, let me help it through, because I think this is a moment, my sweet Crescent Moon crew, that it's crystallizing right here and now. You can make so many choices about who you'll be, where you'll go, what you'll do. But those choices don't determine how good you'll feel. The illusion of choice, the illusion of power, is something that Spirit wants to make super clear to you right now. Because where you're getting stopped up and overwhelmed is believing that your choices matter so goddamn much. If I do this, then I'm stuck in this for life. Did I, or what is it called when people look back at choices they already made? Ruminating. Did I say that the wrong way? Did I do that the wrong way? Am I in the wrong career? Am I in the wrong, or did I handle that meeting incorrectly? If I had done this, could it have been that way? Or looking forward to the future, what if I choose this person or that person as a partner, or I choose this career or that career, or I invest my stuff wrong? Because you have these high standards for yourself, my sweet friend. But the choice, the only choice that really matters in your life today and tomorrow and like for the next, let's just say 5 days, let's just commit to a week. The only choice that really matters is, will you celebrate yourself for the excellence that you already are? And will you let yourself feel joy for what you've already accomplished? Yes or no? Will you choose to obstruct your own joy by focusing energy on what you don't know, freaking out about the unknown? Or will you choose to celebrate the excellence that already exists within you, that already is you? Yes or no? That's the only choice that matters. And interestingly, that one choice sits above all the others because it determines the way the experience of your life will feel, irrespective of any circumstance that could ever fall on your head. Number 2, the miracle you now possess, scarab, beetle, spirit, magic works through you. That's right, my love. Reducing to 7 numerology, you are a creature of spirit. Again, your choices don't determine the fate of the world. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I think your neck might be breaking, my love, because you put so much stock into the choices you make, or you did formerly, to the point that it was obstructing your joy. But look, if you take the crown off for a second, or at least the crown that says that you have to be the arbiter of fate for the whole world, magic can still work through you, and it can work through you effortlessly. Stop thinking of yourself as the only leader there is, and start understanding that you're a vessel, a channel, and a servant to something greater than you. We really fluff ourselves up about free will. I've got a video on it if you ever want to know my take. It's already in the channel. Just search up free will. I may be talking about it again in the future too. We're not going to debate whether it exists right now or not, although that is a debate that thrills me to the core. All I'm going to tell you, my beautiful Crescent Moon crew, is that your attachment to the power of your free will is one of the things that's waning. Let me say that again super clearly. Your attachment to the power of your free will is waning, so that you can relax and let yourself be used as a vessel of spirit, so that magic can work through you. You don't have to manufacture magic. You just let it work through you. And finally, where to spot your joy is in the surrender. It's in all of the places where you have felt you needed to control, you needed to contract, you needed to dominate, you needed to make shit happen, you needed to direct the stream, direct the flow, you needed to manage, micro or macro, it doesn't matter. You're going to spot your joy now in all of the places where you've been constricting. It's going to begin with relaxing, releasing, letting go. That is the nature of the waning moon. We release. We let go. We let it flow. That's when your power really begins to rise. Your power rises in the same breath as your joy. And your joy, my sweet Crescent Moon crew, is in realizing that it's not your choices that make you great. It's your surrender. That, my sweet friend, is where we are leaving it today. It has been such an honor, such a pleasure. Come back again next Sunday for Self-Care Sunday. We'll have another reading up. Subscribe if you want to always be notified about them. Put the bell icon on. There's also something else coming up on Tuesdays, but we won't talk about that now. If you want to help a sister out, that's me, your sister, or your friend, whatever. Like, comment, and say something like, damn, you cut me deep, Shrek. No, I'm just kidding. Say whatever you want. You don't have to acknowledge the genius of this. You can fight it instead. I also love to fight. I'm open to any kind of connection. But I am sending you so much love, my sweet friend. You are baddie beyond. Don't even freak out. Feel my hand on your shoulder telling you, you are doing it right. You will be okay. All is well. All right? Sending you so much love, my sweet friend. Bye for now. Hello, my beautiful Teardrop crew, and welcome to your reading on what is blocking your joy. It's an honor and a pleasure to have your talisman here. I'm going to set you off to the side, and as I do that, I want to remind you of the one rule, the one and only rule in this house, my love, because we're very unconventional here in the Little Reader's house. But the one thing that stands, that never changes, is that you are so very worthy of love. It's always more, and it's never less. That's the only truth that we know for sure around here. So take it in, breathe it, and understand that even if you can't buy it yet, even if you can't agree, I believe it for you. And I believe it pretty damn hard. So your heart is safe with me, my love. We're shuffling up here to find out what is blocking your joy. And I got the whole spread right beside me. With the tarot, we're going to do, wow, 4 rows with clarifiers to get down to the juice. What's the belief? What's the behavior? What's the issue? You know, if there is such a thing as issues in this incredible learning matrix we live in. And then we'll get into the oracle. And we'll get there and we'll go there. And it'll be you and me and it'll be epic. But I just wanted to say thank you for being here. And if I can convince you to like the video at this point in time. Look, see, the devil. Even the devil wants you to like the video right now. I'm just going to ask you to do that because why not, baby? Why not? So Spirit, show us, for my beautiful Teardrop crew, what's the blocking belief? Ah, 10 of Cups. Wow. Clarified by Temperance in reverse. Okay. Makes a lot of sense with a teardrop that has to do with water, doesn't it? Ooh, and I'm seeing a slight similarity to our Crescent Moon crew who was just on the scene. How the belief is manifesting as behavior. Wow. And how to unstick that motherfucker. Meaning the belief. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, my sweet friend. So let's take it all in. And breathe deeply as I move my leg, which is completely numb. I don't know what to tell you, my love. Sitting on the floor. It does that. So what do I see? What's your story, my beautiful Teardrop crew? Don't cry. I mean, you know what? Do cry, because crying's amazing. There was a time when I was crying all day, every day. It was insane. I looked like an owl because my eyes got so, like, sunken in, and it was wild. Anyway, not about me. Back to you. Cry if you must cry. It's okay. But what I want to know is who's holding you. Okay? Who's holding you in that? Are you sharing it? Are you expressing it? Or are you holding it in? Are you allowing the wave to grow to the degree that it drowns you? Now, I did say in the beginning of this video that joy is your birthright in any circumstance. It can't be faked. It's a river. Let it drown you. But I happen to know that being drowned by joy and being drowned by sorrow feel a little bit different. So I'm seeing you. I'm seeing the paradox. I'm seeing that you have high highs and low lows. And I'm wondering who's holding you in all of this and if you're allowing yourself to be held. Why do I say that? Back of the deck, we have Strength in reverse, which tells me that somebody, that's you, baby, believes that a strong front is essential. Essential. Our number one belief that's blocking your joy at this time is really interesting. If I interpret it literally, it's that absolute love, absolute happiness, and the manifestation of all the romance and the good feelings that you desire cannot exist at the same time as a balanced life. That is the literal interpretation of this. But I know that no one could possibly believe that, could they? Is it true, my love? Do you believe that if you had passion, harmony, calming, happiness, love, wisdom, all the things written on this card, hold on, I'm going to move so that A, I can feel what it feels like to have a right leg again, and B, so that you can see this card. Oy. Because you got to see it up close. Is it true that you believe if you had wisdom, bliss, harmony, calming, happiness, dream, love, and passion, you couldn't also have balance? Can it be? I know when I say it like that, it's true. When we express anything, we gain power over it, a certain type of power. If we express it too much, it gains power over us, but that's another talk for another time. If we can name this now, it feels silly, right? But I'm starting to get the whole story here. There's a fear of your emotions at play. There is a fear of being overwhelmed, drowned by the sorrow or by the joy. That's the block to joy right now, is because it's like, I don't know if I can handle it. It's going to throw me off balance. It's going to rattle my nervous system. And baby, that actually might be true. It might rattle your nervous system. But how do we strengthen a nervous system? What do I even mean when I say that? We regulate it. We use our breath. We use our mind for meditation. We use the earth for grounding. If you've got a pen and paper handy, write down nervous system regulation. Because you, my sensitive soul, my soft, sweet, and I know that might be pissing you off. I'm sorry. Because over here it's like, strength. I'm not soft. I'm not sweet. Are you kidding? I don't feel anything. Baby, please. This is me we're talking to here, okay? Just, come on. All that teeth gritting. It's showing me that you want to feel the joy. You want to feel the love. Love is your greatest dream, okay? But there is this fear that it's going to overwhelm you, drown you, take away your balance, and ultimately take away your ability to control anything, but mostly yourself. I don't really get hyper control freak vibes here. And even if I did, that's okay. They don't scare me. It's all good. It's all safe here in the house. But what I see is that the thing that you value control over the most in this world, and I respect that, I relate to it, is yourself, is your own inner state. And there's this idea that if you feel too much, it's going to hurt you. You'll lose that control. Also, do we really be in the gym here with strength? And I said this could also double as sweat. You know? I bet you got gains. I'd love to see them. Now, where'd this belief come from? How did it originate? Well, at some point, you weren't allowed the rest and the respite that you needed to deal with the little things that life threw at you. So with our Page of Rods here, who is the Page of Wands, and our Four of Blades, which is our Four of Swords, both in reverse. At some time in your life, life has repeatedly proven to you that if you are the slightest bit off balance and you're not prioritizing your nervous system regulation, you can't handle the truth. No, you'll get thrown off. You will get thrown off your balance. You won't be able to rest. You'll be drained. Then you can't do anything. It's a vicious cycle. It's a downward spiral. And you're so brilliant, my Teardrop Crew, for already figuring out so much of what it takes to regulate you. I think you kind of have self-care on lock. You're like, okay, I'm a person who needs a lot of rest. I'm a person who needs my creature comforts. I'm a person who needs some advanced warning. Maybe you were spontaneous at another time, but now it's like, no, I kind of like to know what's coming up. I kind of like to have things scheduled, or at least have an idea of who I'm going to be seeing, what I'm going to be doing, or even better, who I'm going to be doing. All of those things I appreciate. So therein lies the need for control once again. It's like you're trying to maintain equilibrium. And you've realized that if you don't have equilibrium and you don't have certain things in place, you can get thrown off kilter very easily. The way this manifests as behavior is that leadership is very difficult for you. It's not that you can't do it. It's not that you're not good at it either. Hold the phone, baby. We have the King of Wands, or Rods, as it's said in this deck, up right here. You're great at it. You might be already in a leadership position in your work. You might be in a leadership position in your life, in your family, parent, or trusted friend, or psychic tarot guide, or manager, or communicator, lead something or other. And yet it weighs on you like a mofo with the 10 of Rods here, the 10 of Wands. I was literally just saying this to my Crescent Moon crew 1 second ago. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I mean, it's probably heavy weighing too. But this is a totally different version of that. So don't think that you may share some similarities with them, but this is different. You're already doing the leading. You just find the weight of keeping yourself and everyone associated with you balanced to be immense. So the way this manifests as behavior is, I think you're at your I think that you are at your breaking point, or you're always just like dancing around it. You're at your, not breaking point, there's a word for this. Not brink, not the brink of something. The edge, the end, your capacity. You're at capacity. You can't take on anything else. But my love, my beautiful Teardrop Crew, here's where it's screwing you. It's making you believe that you don't have the capacity for joy. You don't have the capacity for love. Somehow, through these patterns, you actually blocked the things that give you satisfaction. So let me try to make this make sense. It's like you've got these glasses in front of you. 3 glasses. One is work. One is personal life. One is love. Work is filled up to the top of the glass. Personal life is filled up to the top of the glass. Love life, because of our 10 of Cups here, I'm just gonna guess. Love life is literally only an inch. It's empty. This would be the glass that would replenish you the most. It would actually increase your capacity to handle the other 2 glasses. But you're like, I can't take any more, because if all 3 glasses are filled, I can't breathe, I can't live, I can't exist. But what life is asking you to do is to just take some of the water out of the work glass and take some of the water out of the personal glass and pour it into the love glass so that they can all be equally filled. And then you can decide, you can have breathing room, and then you can also decide which glass to add to at different times. You can alternate, you can flow. There's also something very stubborn and fixed about this energy here. You could be a fixed sign. Off the top of my head, I'm sorry to disappoint you, my love. I don't know which of the zodiac signs are fixed, but I do know what it means to be a fixed sign, and I do know what fixed energy feels like, and baby, this could be you, especially in your Venus. I'm your Venus. But really, wherever you feel love, the way you express love, if you're a fixed sign, if you were born under the stars that are stubborn ass mofos, you might also have some issues believing that it's possible to flow, believing that you don't have to compartmentalize in your mind the silos of your life and then structure them to such a degree that you are always maintaining their balance. What's a better way to say that? Well, you're like, this is work and it stays as work and I do work this way. This is personal, it stays as personal, and I do personal things this way. Travel, adventure, fun, sleep, rest, workout, whatever. See, working out, it's really prominent here. And then this is love, and this is how I do love, and I do love this way. It's like a lot of rules you've made for yourself here, my love. Okay, you know what? Damn it. You might be related to the Crescent Moon Crew, and you may want to wander over there when you have a chance later. Not now. There's just some overlap. That's the message for when you're feeling like you want to hang out with me again soon. But here, we got to bust the rules, because this idea that you need to control everything or you're going to be getting thrown off your balance, life is much more intuitive than you're allowing it to be right now, my sweet love. So let's get to how you unstick that motherfucker. In the end, we've got the 9 of Coins upright. That's our 9 of Pentacles. And we've got the 10 of Blades in reverse. That's our 10 of Swords. It's exactly this. Stop mentally agonizing over having complete control over your empire. The 9 of Pentacles is an independent individual who trusts in what they've created and trusts that they still have a ways to go. They're 9, they're not 10, they're not 8. They're not just starting out, or they're not deep in the throes, but they're not at the end of their journey either. They are independent, but they're also fluid. They can applaud themselves for what they've created, but they can also change strategy as necessary. Trust in your identity. Trust in your independence. You desperately want love. I can see that. That's obvious to me here. That's your dream. But it's also the belief that's blocking you that love will overwhelm you. It will destroy the independence that you've created. No. It will enhance the independence that you've created. It will enhance the experience of feeling your life, and it will bring you joy. Joy. What does all the rest of this shit matter? Your work life, your personal life, how good shit's looking on social medias. I don't know. There's a big thing about show here. There's an energy of presentation being important. Who gives a damn about your presentation, really, if it's not bringing you joy? And how much joy really can presentation even bring you? Like, let's be real. If you're getting your kicks out of an image or out of portraying yourself as a independent, well-controlled, well-balanced individual, but you're not feeling the joy of actually living that experience, then my love, of course you'll cry. Of course you'll shed tears. Of course you'll sweat. If you don't let yourself cry, you're going to sweat it all out. All the time, nonstop. Because the weight and the burden of performance is too much. It's beneath you, my love. You deserve so much better than that. This is Spirit saying to you, you're beyond the performance, my dear. It is time for you to actually feel the love of what you've cultivated. Put a flower in your hair. Dance. Let it all fall apart just to put it back together again. It's not going to fall apart, by the way. Let yourself be overwhelmed by love. Let yourself lose your balance. This whole fear that if you lose your balance, there's going to be catastrophic failure. Actually, there isn't. We've got the Page of Rods here. It's like the worst thing that will happen to you is that you'll have to like reschedule an event or something, or change your plans. You think your entire life is going to crumble because you don't see your own strength. You don't see how much integrity you really do have, and how you've built what you've built on a very, very solid and firm foundation. How long have you been working for those gains? Do you really think that being off your gain plan for 10 days is really going to destroy the entire foundation you've built? No, I know you don't think that. But when it comes to love, you think that surrendering to the most powerful force in this universe, the most constructive force, the most healing force in this universe, is going to destroy the foundations of what you've built and your equilibrium? No, my love, not at all. But the thing is, you've never tried it yet, so I understand why you fear. I understand why you hesitate, because it's new territory. That's okay. Maybe you never had the shot. Maybe you never got the chance to love or to experience love in a balanced, healthful way. But you've created a new life for yourself that can support a torrent of emotions. It can support a flood of passion, of happiness. It can support you losing yourself in another person for a short piece of time and then coming back to yourself more expanded than you were before, because you tasted, you sampled, you felt, you saw new and brilliant things. Take your love of traveling and exploration and channel it into, funnel it into exploring love as the new territory, your next pilgrimage, your next venture. And understand that surrendering to love, if done with a true and pure heart, not with agenda, not with the need to control or manipulate, will lead to greater balance in your life, not less balance. It will lead to joy, the very thing you're hungry for, the very thing you're seeking, the very thing that will complete your circuit and make you truly strong, actually strong, not just strong in perceived image, but strong
all the way down to the bone. Wow. That was lovely. Now, let's bust out the oracle, my sweet love. I haven't seen them yet. But number one is what you've learned from this belief. What you've learned from this belief that has blocked joy from you before. That's nurture. We'll talk about it. The miracle you now possess. Chameleon spirit, act as if. Whoa. And where to spot your joy moving forward. Wow. The Kabbalah tree of life in the reverse. This is interesting. What does it remind me of? Kind of reminds me of this 9 of Coins card. And, okay, hold on. It's coming through. Hold on. Hairspray has just been sprayed somewhere in the house. Excuse me. And it comes through the vents of my room. And wow, I quaff. So, number one, nurture. What you learned from this belief is that you cannot survive, my love, without love. You cannot survive without nurturing yourself, truly, not just for show, down to the bones. And I know it's crazy. The people who come to this house, who watch these videos, who bask in the little reader's energy, they're not superficial types. Let me rephrase that. They don't believe that they're superficial types. But my darling, if you have access to social media, if you've ever watched a reality TV show, if you know other human beings, and if you've ever had family or friends, then there is something ingrained within you, calibrated to caring about how you're perceived. There just is. The way it manifests may be very obvious, or it may be nefarious. But oftentimes, we think we are being our most genuine when we're trying not to be superficial. I don't even know what the hell I just said, but I felt that shit. Look, you've learned that if you don't really nurture your soul and your heart, all of the rest of the way you look and the way the life comes across and your freedom and all that shit doesn't feel so great. We have water dropping all over these plants. We got a teardrop here. You've got to give the emotions. And baby, you've got to give to receive. I think you know that too. Now, with 14 reducing to 5 in numerology, okay? This isn't 4 minus 1. Yo, this is numerology math. And I know I'm not the first reader to say that, but it's important. It's important. The way we reduce numbers is we actually add them to create a single number. And then we take the energy of that number and we look at the symbolism of it. 14 reduces to 5. That's change. That's disruption. You're ready for that. With chameleon spirit, act as if. You know now, and the miracle that you possess, the miracle that you now possess, is that you can find your balance. You can change different colors of yourself at different times to suit the scenario that you're in, and it's not going to disrupt your balance. It's not going to disrupt the empire that you're building or that you've built or that you're so proud of, the independence, the liberation, your legacy, right? You can change your legs to be green, your body to be purple, all at once. So you can be all green or all purple. I mean, there's a lot going on in this card. It's really cool, actually. But you can shift. You can shape shift, and you can be safe doing it. And it doesn't dilute who you are. It doesn't dilute your skills, and it does not dilute the strength of your foundation. Integrity might have a different meaning in every moment in terms of how you express yourself. I once got into a great argument with a friend because I'm not going to lie to you. I love a little intellectual discourse, darling. And the argument was something like this. Their thesis was that you have to be the same at all times in all circumstances to be authentic. They said that's integrity. and I'm going to give you the real conversation. This is really how it went. They were saying to me that if I don't shower in real life, which I don't, I being them, then I'm not going to shower when I go on a first date with someone because I want them to see who I really am. And there's totally wisdom in that. There is. However, let me give you my take. I said, okay, I hear you. You shower like twice a week. Got it. Got to work on that. But you can still be clean and present yourself honestly on this first date. And then as it becomes relevant in conversation, you can say, yeah, I showered just for this. That's not something I usually do. But, you know, I just kind of wanted to be clean for this occasion so I could feel fresh. And you could still be authentic and have integrity in this moment. Now, we fought to the bitter end on that, and we never arrived at resolution. And that's what it is to be human, baby. Polarity, paradox, different sides. I think you land in the understanding of what I just illustrated, which is that integrity is something you get to decide based on what is true for you and what you desire in the moment. And you can pivot and shapeshift and change and still be true to your heart as long as you're honestly communicating and honestly putting your heart into it. You don't need to capture yourself. And this is where you and our Crescent Moon crew are learning a very similar lesson. You don't need to capture yourself or be beholden to the rules that you invent for yourself. I never shower, therefore I can't even shower on our wedding day. Like yeah, obviously I still haven't gotten over this, and that's okay. I'll work on this later. But you are allowed to break out of those rules. You can be independent, which I can see you clearly value in every moment, even in love. You can have boundaries, even in love. You can set time to lose yourself and then set time to find yourself right after. You don't need to be overwhelmed. You can act as you want to act, as you want to be, and be who you want to be. Bam. Just felt like that needed a bam. Okay, and then finally, with the Kabbalah tree of life here, this is where to spot your joy. Oh boy, everywhere. It's everywhere. But it's not in the show of it. It's in the feel of it. Okay? It's not in the way, it's not in the fruit. This tree is barren. Got no fruits, doesn't even have leaves. That's pretty bleak for a tree that's supposed to represent all of us, right? But hey, didn't illustrate it. No hate, no shade. Well, literally no shade because no leaves, but it's in the roots. It's in your essence. You're going to find your joy in being yourself in every moment. Something that's been lost in your journey a little bit is when you do your shapeshifter thing, you lose your connection to yourself. So you lose your joy. The moment you lose your connection to yourself, my love, you lose your joy just like that. It doesn't matter how happy you look or how successful you are on paper. If you're not connected to yourself, the joy is gone. The same is true in relationships, in love, with people. I'm telling you right now, my beautiful Teardrop Crew, it is possible to have a thriving life that includes great, overwhelming emotional love and not lose yourself. But you have got to prioritize knowing who you are and abiding by your preferences in every moment. That means whether you're alone, being Mr. or Mrs. or non-binary identifying person, independent, you choose to be yourself, to follow your preferences, to speak out loud who you are. When you're with someone, being Mr., Mrs., or non-binary lover, so over here it's Mr., Mrs. independent, over here it's Mr., Mrs. lover, you are choosing yourself and your preferences still. Don't be afraid of incompatibility. To keep the peace, you don't have to get along, go along to get along. You can still Express your preferences, your desires. Let that chase away who it chases away. Let that magnetize in who it magnetizes in. But you'll never be overwhelmed by the bigness of life if you stay connected to yourself in every moment. And by doing so, you will find yourself to be the strongest person you've ever known and the most joyful. And that's tea, baby, for you. So we're leaving it right there, my beautiful Teardrop Crew water drop. Now you're not crying anymore. You're just water. You're ready to be poured into, poured on, to feel all the emotions. Until we meet again, I am sending you all of the love that I've got. Subscribe now, right this hot second, to be here for next week's Self-Care Sunday. And if you really want to help me out, a like and a comment go a hell of a long way, baby. Tell YouTube, yes, recommend the little reader. Recommend her. She does want to be famous. Okay, that's a whole story for another time. Check out that Crescent Moon Crew if you get around to it, because the story's in there. But anyway, sending you all the love I got. Went on a tangent, but you are so worthy. Get out there. Make it great. Bye for now, my love. Hello, my sweet 6th house crew, and welcome to your reading on what is blocking your joy. What is it, my love? What's blocking it? We're going to find out. Don't worry, I got it all written out. The whole thing is here. We'll get down to the nitty gritty. We'll maybe tell jokes. I don't know what's going to happen. My legs are like so asleep right now just because your predecessors, that would be the Crescent Moon Crew and the Teardrop Crew, have already gone. So sometimes I film crews in order, sometimes I don't, but this time I am filming in order, which makes you lucky number 3, which also 3 is half of 6. It goes into 6 twice, and there's this element of duality, of balance, of connection, and of using other people as mirrors for the better. When I say using, I don't mean using them in a way that doesn't benefit them. I mean using them to see yourself clearly. If I remember correctly, your question was, would you want someone you love dearly to treat their health the same way you treat yours? So that's already using people as a mirror. It's interesting. I'm going to go ahead and set your talisman over to the side. Also, there are a lot of very happy children outside of my window. It's a Sunday, you know, it's Self-Care Sunday, so they're out there having a blast, and I'm happy for them. But I'm sorry in advance if the sound becomes a little crazy. They're not my children, by the way. I don't have any. Well, just the whole world, my love, including myself. All inner childs are my people of interest. So I don't know what that means, but we'll just leave it there. I'm setting this over to the side, and as I do, my love, before we even touch the deck, I just want you to know the number one rule around here. I want you to know it in your soul, that you are so very worthy of love. Always more, never less. And that's the only thing we truly believe in this house. The rest, aliens and energy and all that shit. I'm still a skeptic, baby. But the thing I know for sure is that love is real and you're worthy of it. The end. So let's get to shuffling and see everything there is to see. The music is free of charge. I will put the name of this deck in the description because why? Chicken fry. And also because now I want to know, what is this deck even called? Again, it was gifted from me, to me, from someone who I think it was gifted to them like in the 80s or something, in the 70s. And I'm saying that like that was long ago. It wasn't. It was just before my time. So take that for what it's worth, baby. So with the tarot, right now we're looking at the belief, the behavior, and everything that is related to what's blocking your joy. Why you can't feel joy. Why joy is just like an idea or, you know, an aspirational goal. But baby, no, you're meant to feel it. See, even that kid knows. They're screaming. They're screaming because they want you to feel the same amount of joy they're feeling. Inner children, too. That's interesting. See, in a reading, everything matters, baby. So pick up everything I've said. Duality, numbers, people as mirrors, inner children, children, not having children. All of it. Pay attention. All right, so number 1, what is the blocking belief that is stopping my beautiful 6th house crew? Whoa. From feeling joy. We're going to just intuitively flip that this way. 4 of Cups reversed, clarified by the 9 of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Where did the belief come from? Right off the top. 2 of Cups reversed, clarified by the Queen of Swords upright. Wow. Number 3, how the belief manifests as behavior. 2 of Rods, that's Wands, reversed, clarified by Queen of Pentacles reversed. And finally, how to unstick that motherfucker. Woo! 6 of Rods upright with the Ace of Rods upright. My God, combine that, you get the 7 of Rods, and you get the screaming. Yes! You hear the enthusiasm? Yes, child, yes. And then this 2 of Pentacles, which looks like, never mind, we'll go down that road another time. So check it out, man. The enthusiasm of these kids is rocking my world. I want to go out there and scream, not at them, but with them. You think they'll understand if I just open the front door and start? Yeah, let's not do that. Okay, so where to begin? Let's take it all in. My God, your 4th row really excites me. Okay, it really does. 2 of Pentacles, balancing, juggling. All right, all right. So where it all started with you, my love. 4 of Cups, a card of rejection and apathy, but in reverse. And 9 of Pentacles, a card of independence, thriving, self-knowledge, self-approval, self-celebration, in reverse. Do you see what I see combined with this 6? Okay, I don't know that I see anything yet. Hold on. Row 2. Where the belief came from. 2 of Cups in reverse. That's love. That's soulmate shit. That's like the true mirror. The people who make you grow more than anyone else because you just feel a pull to their heart. Clarified by the Queen of Swords. You know, she's kind of the ice queen. She can be. Very intellectual, very sharp. The inner expression of the air element, of the mind, of our Gemini, of our Libra, of our Aquarius. Interesting. How the belief manifests as behavior. 2 of Wands reversed, Queen of Pentacles reversed. That one's pretty obvious. And yeah, how to break out of it. Wow. Okay, it's coming to me, my love. Your themes and what's stopping you from your joy. May I be blunt? You are pretty low on your own priority list. That's it. And my sweet love, I'm going to just be real blunt, like a blunt. Actually, not like a blunt because I think sometimes cannabis can smooth things. And we need to be sharp like a knife right here, right now. Some tough love is what you are so worthy of. Talk about a mirror. I'm going to mirror you right now, real bluntly, and you're going to like it. You think it's admirable that you're so low on your priority list. And honey, it's not. Okay? That's all. It's not helping you or anybody who loves you to reject yourself, to put yourself last, to believe that everyone's needs are more important than yours, to believe that what you've invested in or your legacy or your home or your family are more worthy than you. Horse fucking shit. Sorry, YouTube, by the way, about the language, but you know. It's got to be said, and it came from seeing someone else do it. First thing I'm hearing is a single mom. If not a single mom, it was seeing a caregiver of yours give and give and give beyond what was rational, beyond what was logical, beyond what even made sense to help others. And we can be grateful for what our caregivers did for us or for other members of our family without saying that that was the perfect way to do it. You hear what I'm saying? So let's say, for example, you had a single mom. You don't have to disown your single mom's efforts and badassery by saying, you know, I wish she'd loved herself more, so I could have had that example. The two can coexist. She was incredible. She is incredible. Badass. Did it all. Solo. Made that shit happen. And yet I wish she'd loved herself more so that I could have learned how to love myself. I wish that she'd nurtured her inner child more so that I could know what the hell it looks like to even have an inner child and do shit with it. Those things can coexist. So lessons coming in right away, my beautiful, sweet friend, is that two things can coexist at the same time. We can honor those who give while also recognizing how detrimental it is to their own health, their own well-being, and unfortunately, the example it sets for everyone around them. And then we can understand that we might be doing the exact same thing. I'm not saying you're a parent, although I'm getting the vibe that you are. I'm getting the vibe that this has to do with your kids, maybe, or your parents, your family or your friends. And if you don't have kids or parents, you might have people who work with you or for you who are your greatest priority. Could even be pets. It's like anyone other than you. Could be your partner. What's blocking your joy here is this belief that it's noble to reject yourself. It's noble. Not only is it noble, but also maybe the only way to connect. The only way to connect that you know is through self-sacrifice. So I'll be rejected if I am independent. I'll be alone if I'm independent. I'll be alone if I'm whole. So I better just cut myself on a prominent artery and start hemorrhaging my blood so that folks can come and collect it, lest they believe that I'm not worthy. Are you hearing me, my sixth house crew? Are you hearing me? This is a blunt message. This is a message of love. Because let me tell you something real quick. Let's do a little level setting. My favorite. You're incredibly worthy of love. You have so much to offer this world. You have insight. You have intellect. You have charisma. You have skills. You are incredibly bright. You've got it going on. I want to know you. And if I already do and we're already homies, hey, baby, what are you doing? Did you forget who you were? Baby, thank God I'm here to remind you. Your potential, your skills, your abilities, your legacy is all operating right now at 25%, if that. Our objective, as you hear the young child outside my window screaming, is to get you to 90 to 100% in the next 25 to 30 minutes. We'll accomplish it, don't worry. This is a house of miracles. But you've got to understand the level set here is that you have something to offer. Being a caretaker, being a giver in the way that you're doing it, not the purpose. And if you're having a crisis right now, just listening to these words, I completely understand, my love. You've built your identity. You've built your worth. You've built your pride and your ego on your magnanimous generosity, on how much you give. Oh, how you listen to your partner. Oh, how you give financially. Oh, how you support your kids. Oh, how you pay for things, maybe for your parents, maybe for your kids, maybe for your friends. Oh, how you just give. And there's really nothing wrong with all that giving, except it's obstructing you from your joy. So if you want to peace out now and continue to live a joyless life, but keep giving, go ahead. But before you do that, I'm going to ask you this critical question. Do you really think that you existing without joy makes any of what you're giving valuable? Take a moment, my love, to travel back down memory lane. Bloom, 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 bloom. Think of your primary caregiver, for instance, or the one you were more closely bonded with. Would you have liked them to sacrifice what they sacrificed for you to give you the opportunities you've had? Or would you have liked to see them radiate with joy? That when they walked in the room, you felt that shit. Your soul came alive. Their beaming smile. They were well rested. They were well fed. They took care of their health. They laughed. They had hobbies. They played sports, or they watched movies. They were passionate. They were creators. They started up a little side hustle. They ended up building a dream into an empire by accident. All because they cared for themselves deeply. Which would you choose? Would you like them to come home sweaty and sad, doing what they thought they needed to do? We can't say now. That's in the past. We can't say if it's really what they needed to do or if it's not. But what I can tell you here, backed up by the divine, baby, is that you don't need to tire, sweat, or exhaust yourself into a joyless life experience to be worthy. The end. You don't. Somewhere it was idolized, modeled for you. It became your way. It was necessary to bring you to the point that you're in. It's now time for a giant cosmic pivot if you ever intend to feel joy, which I know you want. The way the belief is manifesting as behavior is that you can't even see what your future looks like anymore. And you can't make choices that really resonate with your heart. So not only is this not a joyless experience, my love, it's a depressing one. If you're battling with anxiety, with depression, with ruminating thoughts, with a general sense of dis-ease, or with a constant, subtle existential crisis that you can never seem to shake, you can distract yourself away from it, but then it always comes back, especially at night. Bet you don't sleep well either. Then here we are, baby. It is not meant to be this way. But the reason why it is this way is because the only person who can choose you isn't doing it. Your partner can't choose you. Your kids can't choose you. Your parents can't choose you. The world can't choose you. And if they could, the only way they'd ever be able to do so is after you have chosen you. We teach other people how to love us. We teach other people how to respect us. Right now, my sweet love, you're living in a reality where the subtext is, I'm not worthy of anything other than scraping by, than surviving, than grinding, than hustling. Where the truth of it is, that's bullshit. You're worthy of, can I tell you about the Six of Rods if you're not a tarot aficionado? What you're worthy of is triumph. The Six of Rods is someone coming back from war, having crushed it on the battlefield. But interestingly, it's not their victory that makes them desirable. It's their aura of triumph. It's their self-knowledge that sounds something like this. Celebrate me, bitch. That's what the Six of Wands or Six of Rods character is thinking as they ride in, back from battle, victorious. What they've conquered, what they've claimed, doesn't really matter. What matters is they killed it. They survived. They did what they're great at. They crushed it. And now they're saying, celebrate me, bitch. Please, with respect, I'm worthy of it. You're worthy of being celebrated for all you've already done. But you can't earn it by doing more. You can't earn it by overgiving. And you can't earn it through if. This is a tactic, because we all do it. I've done it too. In the way past, though, thankfully. Hopefully it's not making a comeback anytime soon. The strategy of suffering in silence. Because there's something about that we glorify sometimes. Like, I'll just zip my lip and suffer in silence, and eventually someone's going to notice, and they're going to give me a pat on the back and be like, oh my God, Amanda, you suffered so well. Here's your like badge of honor. Maybe even at my funeral. Have you ever done that? Have you ever wondered what your funeral would be like, and then thought to yourself, well, at least there, everyone will acknowledge how great I was. Don't worry, you're not alone. Hi, my name's Amanda, and I've done that too. Shake hands on that one. But it's horse shit, baby, because you'll be dead when that happens, and unfortunately, you'll no longer give a fuck. Instead, you'll be up in the skies, in the heavens, saying, oh shit, let me do that again. I didn't celebrate myself enough that time. And then bam, you'll be back. You'll land right here in this moment with the sound of my voice in your ears. We just skip that whole thing. Great, now you don't have to do it. Start celebrating yourself, my love. That's the message. The way you break out of this is to understand you're brilliant. You're wonderful. How can you prioritize your own joy? In order to break out of all of this, how to unstick this belief, how to let go of the example of the aggrieved, silent, suffering in silence caregiver, wherever we learned that that was honorable, is to begin to understand what brings you joy, and then to prioritize what brings you joy. With your 6th house here, my beautiful 6th house crew, for you, it's going to start with health and well-being. So don't go straight to the pleasures. This is a common mistake. Oh, I know what brings me joy. Seeing my friends, drinking, partying, traveling, creating new things, making readings, making art. Incorrecto. Where you are being asked to start by spirit is not with those. You're being asked to start with your health and your well-being. There is a rune from the Elder Futhark alphabet called Uruz. U-R-U-Z. That is the energy that's being captured here. That is your magical, potent medicine. You are being asked to prioritize your health and your well-being. That is going to bring joy flooding into you. But you must prioritize it over all other things. Finances. Sorry, health has got to come first. Family. Sorry, health has got to come first. Friends. Sorry, health has got to come first. Work. Sorry, health has got to come first. Am I a broken record? Yes. Is that my job? Yes. Put your health at the top of the list. Whatever it takes to get enough sleep. Whatever it takes to get enough mental rest. Whatever it takes to get enough nervous system regulation. Whatever it takes to get enough hydration, enough nutrition. Do you hear me, my love? Whatever it takes to feel 10 out of 10 poppin'. I want you to wake up in the morning bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, feeling like the day is your bitch. Respectfully, but that's the energy we're on here. This is your medicine. I want you to go to sleep early. I don't care if work piles up. Spirit's asking me to tell you that you're going to be a much better multitasker and actually much more in charge of the many facets of your juggling game of life once you've prioritized your health. You don't need to know how it's going to happen, by the way. With this Queen of Swords, it tells me there's an obsession with mental control, with having everything plotted out, planned out. Like, you combat stress by having a plan. Bad news for you. It's not an effective strategy. It's not working. Now, I know your brilliant mind just went, wait a second. How could it not be working? Like, a plan. No. It's time. And I'm sorry I'm being so ferocious, my love. You just bring it out in me. It is really time for the tough love. With respect, F the plan. It's time to prioritize the health. Get yourself to the beach. Have the ocean walks. take a supplement, sleep. And I don't mean any of this fake health shit where you're like going to bed at 1 a.m. but you take like, you pop a melatonin so you think like that did something for you and now you can wake up at 5 and everything's great. Or you can like smoke weed at the same time that you drink so that you don't feel the hangover the next day. Oh, I know all the tricks, baby. No, that's not what I'm talking about either. I'm talking about real prioritization of your health to the degree that your body becomes a place that's safe to live. Because what's happening here is once your body becomes a safe place for you to live, you'll no longer need to overgive. You'll no longer need to earn validation from the outside and love from the outside because you're going to be so comfortable, so pleased with what it feels like to exist within yourself. If that means there's some turbulence in the beginning, which by the way, I'm not seeing for you, but if, let's say things shift around. Let's say you lose a project at work. So let's say you then don't get the promotion that you then thought you needed to support your lifestyle in the next season, whatever that may be for you. Yet, by not having that project at work, you now get an extra hour of sleep every night. Suddenly you're more creative. Suddenly you come up for a side hustle, an idea for a side hustle or a side project that makes double the money of what the project at work would have given you anyway. This is why you can't use the pea brain, the lizard brain, who's in distress, who is stressed, who is just barely holding it together to plan out and structure your life. It will only make more of the same. It's time for a radical strategy shift in which you prioritize your health above all else so that you, my sweet love, can live the life you're worthy of, which is one that's restful, healthful, and joyful. Joyful. You will be able to balance it all. You will be able to find equilibrium. I promise you, if you can choose you. Now, let's look at your oracle cards. Number 1, what you've learned from this belief. Growth. Look at that. So cute. The miracle you now possess. Mouse spirit. Also so cute. Tend to the small things. Oh, baby. We're going to get into it in a second. And where to spot your joy. Oh, Pleiadians. Unconditional love, excitement, and laughter. Okay. This is some powerful shit. And yeah, that singing you hear, I wrote that for you, baby. So check it out. Yeah, by the way, another reason I'm all fired up here, baby, it's not just you, it's me. It's us. Because I don't know if you can tell, I sound a little congested. That's because I've already been sick twice this year. I also dropped a phone on my face and busted my lip from looking at my phone in bed. So I'm right next to you. Hi, baby. Let's hold hands. I'm learning this lesson at the same time that you are. So thank God for you. Thank God for you. Could not do it without you. Growth. It's small, right? You see that it's a small sprout. Okay, now that I've said that, I have to show you. Well, now that I have to show you, I have to get up. And look at the little baby. Little baby. Growth is a small sprout. Then you have tend to the small things. By the way, pre-shuffled, yes, but I haven't seen them and I haven't looked at them and I don't plan them. They're just the perfection of the uni at work. The number 4, it refers us back to the 4th row of your tarot. Growth and tend to the small things. You think of yourself because you're such a baddie at just continuing to go on. So amazing. Sort of. I think we kind of glamorize that a little bit too much though, at least here in the States. You think of yourself as such a baddie for being able to go on that it's like it's a small thing to care for yourself. Too small. Like who cares what you eat or what you drink or if some shit falls through the cracks? Like you're so low on the priority list that meh. Okay. What you've learned though is no. Seeds grow into trees, my love, and every stage of their growth matters. If you've ever seen a fingernail or hair, I don't know if this is going to shock you, but I used to be a hairdresser. I got my cosmetology license when I was 18, and I worked in a salon for all of 6 months before I realized that it wasn't for me. Let's put it that way. But hair. If you look at a fingernail or hair, you can see along the hair every segment of that person's life and health. Oh, look, they were stressed here because it's all fragile. You might even see banding, which is pigment loss in the hair. Like, oh, look, here it's silver. Oh, look, here it's got color again. Oh, look, there it's silver. It's all trackable. Even though you may be a small thing in your own mind, and that's probably going to take time to rewire, but god damn it if we haven't started it in this session. You have got to understand that it is your daily habits, your consistency, and tending to the small details of your health that are going to make the difference in your entire life. And if you don't already know it, my love, health is wealth. Everything else you give and everything else that you contribute to this world doesn't mean shit when you find that you've lost your health or that you have no more energy. You're just fatigued. Because there will come a time when you overgive that you just run out. You got nothing left to give. The vein or artery that you cut open to hemorrhage to the world runs out. Your body can't keep up with the production. So tending to the small things is your lesson. Move yourself to the top of the list. Get radical with it. If you can, stop thinking of yourself as a footnote. My God. Think of yourself as someone who will be a great leader the moment that they decide that they're worth taking care of. With the Pleiadians here, unconditional love, excitement, laughter, it's one of our happiest, most creative, most loving, most artistic, most good vibey, extra dimensional, or if you prefer, alien beings. The Pleiadians are hilarious, loving, warm, and just to be around them is to be uplifted. That is your medicine, my love. The joy that you spread. You'll spot that joy when you're healthy, when you're well cared for and you've prioritized your sleep, your nutrition, your mental health above everyone else in your life. I mean it. I need you to start acting like a narcissist. Seriously. Go full sociopathic. I know you're not even capable of it, so I feel safe saying that. But if you do commit a crime, well, you didn't get that instruction here. Don't commit any crimes. Be kind, but start building some serious boundaries, because we also see elements of codependency here. What you need to know is that it's safe to be solo. It's safe to be in your own body. It's safe to be safe in your body. And when you tighten it all up and you get your health prioritized out of love for yourself, you will be giving just by existing, and you'll be giving even more and of an even higher frequency and a higher caliber than the giving that you gave before. That's your instruction, my sweet love. So get to it. My beautiful 6th house crew. Investigate the 6th house. See what planets you have in your 6th house. And start finding reasons to love yourself. Seriously. Because you're a victor. You're already victorious. You've already done so much. You already are so much. Now it's just about taking the actions that teach the rest of us how to honor you. That is where we are leaving it, my sweet friend. It's been an honor and a pleasure to walk this path with you. Please subscribe so that you can be here for next week's Self-Care Sunday and the other little special thing that's coming up. Like the video, comment if you want to give me some love. I deeply appreciate it. You know what would be cool? If you tell me one thing that you love about yourself already. Not because it's like some altruistic, amazing quality that you think we're going to celebrate. No, make it something a little assholey, you know? Like maybe you got a great nose. Damn, I like that. Or maybe you're a good driver, even when you're going 95. Own it. Own all of you. Anyway, that's where we're leaving, sweet love. I adore you. Sending you so much love, all the love I got. Bye for now. Hello, my sweet friend, and welcome to your reading on what is blocking your joy. Damn it. Something, right? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty. I got the whole thing written out here. So, don't even trip, chocolate chip. We're diving in. You're my full moon crew. That means a lot. It means shit's manifesting. It means things are coming to light. It means that you're in this place of wholeness where you can see everything, even your own shadows. So I can't wait to dive in and see the nuances of you, baby, dissect you. It's very exciting for someone who loves the human experience and soul like I do. Which brings me to my next point. Oh, hey, guess what? 6 house crews still in here. Out you go, my love. My next point is that there's only one rule in this house. We do a lot of wacky shit in this house. You know, I've said a lot. I've got videos. They're out there. We've done readings. It's been hither. It's been thither. And God knows that in the time that I've had this channel, I have myself learned and grown and shifted and shape-shifted and done all the things. But there's one constant, like Planck's constant, even though I don't know what that is. I just liked the way it sounded. That you, my sweet friend, are so very worthy of love. That is the only rule, the only truth I really know, and that you can ever hold me to. You, my full moon crew, you, sitting, standing, lying down, or levitating, or inverted, or disembodied, however you find yourself today, are so very worthy of love. More love and never less. Okay? Don't forget it. Don't even think about forgetting it. So, what are we doing? I got the spread over to the side. It's called What is Blocking Your Joy? And we're going to find out in this comprehensive analysis that I've created. Now, what are tarot cards? They're just a great way of visualizing archetypal energies that exist in this universe. Does 78 cards cover, or do 78 cards cover every single energy that exists in this universe? I don't know. Don't worry about it. But rather than just channeling them blind for you and going on a speech, which is possible, but not as fun, we use the cards to visualize, to give physical anchors that represent the energies that are present in you. So this is scientific. I know right now it doesn't seem like it. Give it a few years. We'll get to the science behind it. But for now, it's a scientific exploration of the energies coming from within you that manifest around you, that create your reality. And the fact is, if you've come to the Little Reader's House, if you find yourself here, you're already on the verge of some kind of shift. Those are the types of folk who find themselves here. So just sit back, listen, and let me do all the heavy lifting. How about that? Number 1, the blocking belief that is blocking your joy right now. The world. Oh my gosh, that's that one chick from The Fifth Element. Never seen the movie, been recommended to me a bunch. Mila Jovovich, maybe? Don't know. But anyway, the blocking belief. Okay, I feel a card coming out, but it doesn't want to fully jump out, so we'll keep shuffling. There it is. Oh, okay, I guess it's you. The world with the 9 of Swords reversed. There's something beautifully analytical about your mind, my sweet love, but I need you to relax it for me a little bit. Less analysis, more relaxation. How about that? Where the belief came from. The Emperor reversed. Judgment reversed. Oh, look at that. Who knew we'd get Uma? There's a story behind that for another time. How the belief manifests as behavior. Wow, how the belief manifests as behavior. Queen of Wands and the Ace of Swords. Okay, and how to unstick that motherfucker. How to get that stuck belief that keeps you from feeling joy out. Wow, I cannot believe your cards. What in the heck? You got so many characters. Let's see if I can name him. Al Pacino from a movie where he says, like, first you get the power, then you get the money, then you get the whatever. Uma Thurman from Kill Bill. Uma Thurman. Jennifer Lawrence from The Hunger Games. Oh my gosh. Brad Pitt from Fight Club. Clint Eastwood. Can't remember the movie, unfortunately. And not Ben Affleck, but the other one. Matt Damon from The Martian. And then the guy who plays Willy Wonka, what's his name? The original dude, Gene Wilder from Willy Wonka. Or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. How'd I do? Bravo me. Sorry, I love movies, actually, as it turns out, in addition to tarot. So here we are. You find yourself positioned beautifully in the intersection of two of my great loves. So thank you for being here as I go nerd. The blocking belief, where the belief came from, how the belief manifests as behavior, and how to unstick that motherfucker. Well, let's see even what the belief is about for a second. Because King of Coins as your theme is very material at first glance. You also have a hell of a lot of major arcana cards, rivaled only by our first crew, the waning crescent moon, which is funny because you're the full moon here. So the moon crews really had something going on big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, same amount as they did, I think. Or maybe they had 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. Give me a moment, please, and thank you for your patience. Nine of Swords reversed. Where the belief came from is interesting. Super high-powered characters we have here, right? Both leaders in their own right, both lethal, but both reversed. Misuse of power, is it not? And how this manifests as behavior. Confidence, but a faux confidence. And then how to unstick that motherfucker. Okay. So it's coming together for me. Wow, took me a minute, my beautiful full moon crew. It took me a minute because I don't know why. I have theories and suspicions, but they're not relevant. Here's what's relevant. You have such main character energy that I'm freaking flummoxed by it. It's overpowering. When you walk in a room, people shit their pants a little bit, not gonna lie. In fact, I think I was just energetically shitting my pants. Sort of. It was like an overwhelm of the senses because you're so much. I mean, you're the full moon. And it's not, maybe not necessarily that you're like this all the time. You can't even help yourself. I have a feeling, though, that you are just, you're just very much the main character. Very much main character energy, my God. So what it means is that your belief, interestingly, that's blocking your joy is that there is no world, no life, no knowledge, no truth outside what you have experienced or outside of what you know. And the crazy thing is, my sweet full moon crew, you might think, yeah, that's a pretty obvious statement, isn't it? And the answer is no. Believe it or not, and I know this is going to come as a shock to you, there are folks who live their life believing that there is more to learn. They don't just believe that as an idea, they feel it. They feel incomplete or like in process or in progress. There are people who live their life like that. And I know that you're throwing back your head and laughing and saying, of course, I'm one of them. But no, this is a reality check moment for you, my sweet full moon crew, because you need to be told what your energy is. It's not what you think it is. You think you're still in progress. You think you're still in process. Yet at the same time, you know on a very deep level that you have felt just about every goddamn thing this world can offer. You have had almost every thought pass through your mind. You're so interesting because you are truly a vessel and a channel, so everything passes through you. And no, that's not everyone. You keep thinking your experience is not unique. I understand this is a general reading, but it's pretty unique. It's pretty rare. That's not meant, by the way, to give you a superiority or an inferiority complex. That's meant to say that you need to start approaching your life much differently than the mainstream. Because you're trying to be one of us, one of the crew, one of the rest of us, and you're not. Nothing wrong with that. It just means it's time to refine your approach. This is why you're not finding joy recently, because you're pretending to be a side character when you're actually the main character. More main character. God, no one comes to mind that I know personally, except of course myself. No, I'm just kidding. Well, sort of. Damn. You gotta let the inner narcissist breathe sometimes. Woo! But seriously, this is very much specific energy that needs to be honored with respect. I don't mean to make jokes at your expense. You're already feeling so much that you're like, I don't even know if I can feel anything else at this point. You are someone who is seen by the world as multifaceted, talented, self-starting, unusual. That's important because you're seen by others as rare, even though you don't see it. You're seen as the full moon. You know what people do in the presence of the full moon? They lose it. They go loony, my dear. They lose it. I think people lose it around you too. So I think you have this unique perspective of people being also very special and interesting. But it's because they show that to you because they're mirroring you, if that makes sense. So you probably like people more than most people do. Or conversely, depending on who you choose to surround yourself with, you might like them less than most people do. But it's because you're shining light on all of a person. You see them differently. Maybe even than they see themselves. But people want to see themselves through your eyes. It's so interesting. People desperately want to see themselves through your eyes because you just see so goddamn much. So why is this keeping you from joy? Well, it's really interesting because you have the most capacity for joy of anyone that we've talked to today, of any of my crews. You have the most capacity because you've seen the most and you've felt the most. But that can work against you. You can lose yourself in it. And I think that's why it was so important for me to express the matrix or the integrity or the bones or the composition of you. It was so important for me to express your energetic composition to you so that you can strive not to lose yourself. Because what you might do, my sweet love, is forget yourself an awful lot of the time. Again, you keep thinking you're a side character, your main character. If you tend to obsess about over other people, by the way, that's a way of deflecting against your, trying to get away from seeing yourself as whole or not being able to understand or fathom your own bigness. So instead you put all this focus on other people. You can't see you're not allowing yourself to see your bigness. That's what it is. Not just your bigness. It's not about size. This is about energetic scope. So look, that's your number one blocking belief. You don't allow yourself to see that you are the alpha and the omega. What the hell? I get it. I too am like, what? But yo, you're just special, okay? So get over it. This is the message. And maybe you think that being the full moon, being this special, being this unique, like makes you a loner or a weirdo or like destined for a lonely life. No, it does not. It simply means that you must constantly be reconnecting to your totality. The more you reconnect to your totality, and we'll talk about what the hell that means in a second, the more enjoyable and full of joy life will be for you. Again, you keep trying to achieve joy through the mainstream ways. You got to cut that shit out. You're not a mainstream person. This world wasn't created with you in mind. I know that sucks, but it also is a win because it wasn't created with you in mind. Then you showed up and your role is to recreate it. But the way you recreate it is being in the world but not of it, if that makes sense. Preserving your uniqueness. Now, I've never seen this movie. I mentioned that, right? I've never seen this movie. And yet the energy of this character and the energy of this card are huge. I don't know if she's particularly unique or what her dealio is, but you must protect your difference. You will never ice anyone out. That's not your style. If anything, you're always hoping, begging to find where you fit in. And that's actually obstructing your joy. You're not going to fit in the way other people fit in. Let's face it, they don't even fit in. They're a few steps behind you, my love. Maybe a few lifetimes, if you believe that sort of thing. So they don't fit in either, but they don't feel the pain of that as much as you do. You're the full moon. Let's say they're like the first quarter. So they don't fit in either, but it doesn't bother them as much because they're better at distracting themselves and shit. You feel it all. Nothing can hide from your sight. I bet you're a person who's said before, I see too much. So if it wasn't already clear, that's a gift, not a curse. Your only job now is to love yourself silly. Honor what makes you different. Be the loner for now. But the more you embrace yourself and embrace your solitude, the more folks will magnetize to you. You know what I'm going to say, like moths to a flame. You've already heard all this before. It's so weird. It is so weird talking to you in a cool way, but it's freaking me out in a good way. Yeah. So number one, the blocking belief is don't diminish your uniqueness. You keep thinking I need to be more like them to make sense in this world. I'm telling you, you need to be more like you and the world will adapt. You have the stronger energy. Have you heard of entrainment? It's where you, let's say, you have someone who's driving a car and they put music on. If they put on like soothing Mozart, they might start driving more slowly as they entrain with the music. If you put on, something poppy or boppy, it might be like a more lighthearted, energetic drive. If you put on death metal, you might find yourself speeding, or I don't know, for some people that's lighthearted, but in any case, you're going to be adapting to what the music is. You need to understand that you're the music that others adapt to and entrain with, not the other way around, okay? Act like it. This is the only way you're going to be able to find your joy. Not the only, yeah, that's the only way. Sorry. I was going to try to soften that, but no. You can handle it. It's the only way you're going to be able to find your joy. This belief came from, my God, misused power, yes. but also never having an example like you before. Kind of simple, kind of crazy. You've probably never met anyone like you before, exactly like you. Now, refer back to what I said before. I think you like people. I think you understand people. I think you see the totality of people. So you give them a lot of grace. And I bet you, I would put money on it, that you have raised up friends and family members before and considered them energetic equals. Now look, the premise of Namaste and the idea in the spiritual backgrounds that I respect the most is that we are all equal. We are all equally worthy. We're all equally valuable. We all are indispensable, absolutely necessary to make this universe what it is, or we would not exist. So this is not about worth. When I say energetic equal, I mean voltage, or maybe it's wattage. I mean the brightness. And I think you've pulled people into your circle and been like, oh, they're just as bright as me, just so you didn't have to feel like the main character all by yourself. So you're like, oh no, we're all side characters, or we're all main characters. But you've donated your own voltage or wattage, I don't know, your own brightness to them. And then later you've realized that that's what you were doing, and it reveals a lot about the relationships. I don't think you've had equally bright, energetic spheres around you. So this caused that belief that it was important for you to dim it then. You dim your shit so that you can fit in and not be alone. But baby, I got bad news for you. You cannot dim yourself anymore. It's going to take away your joy. That's what it's already done. So you'll find yourself in superficial relationships. You'll find yourself having very boring ass conversations. You'll find yourself dissatisfied with your job. You'll find yourself not living up to your potential. You'll just find yourself misunderstood and then feeling like you kind of misunderstand yourself. Because again, you're not honoring your uniqueness. You're not honoring your main character energy. You already know that being the main character doesn't make you better than anybody, for the record. And talking about movies, let's talk about the Academy Awards for a second, which are next Sunday, the Oscars. Other people can still win the Oscar for Best Supporting Role, even if you're the lead. It doesn't always mean, it has nothing to do with being better. It just means you have to understand your role. You just have to understand where you fit in the script. And if you're the lead, which you are, and you're the main character, then you're meant to be setting trends. You're meant to be creating. You're meant to be talking. You're meant to be voicing things, not just to fill empty air when it becomes relevant, when it becomes right to say, but you're meant for leadership. It's the lead role. It doesn't mean the supporting roles aren't important or even more fun to watch. Truly, like character actors, hello, they're the best. They don't always get the leads. They're often in the supporting role. And yet, the lead is the anchor. In a way, it can kind of be a thankless position, but it doesn't have to be. It's only thankless if you commit to that, like, oh, I'm an outsider and nobody understands me and I'm a hermit and I just, the burden of greatness and the burden of this light. I don't know where the hell that came from, but thanks for listening. If you commit to that like spiel, then yeah, it's going to be a thankless role. But if you say instead, oh shit, I'm the lead. Okay. I set the tone when I walk in a room. Oh, okay. So I could set it to be positive. Oh, I can suggest the activities. Ooh, I can come up with the idea for this work project. Ooh, I can start a side hustle, side business. Oh, I could begin a podcast. Ooh, okay. Because naturally you're an individual who's going to have eyes on you, more eyes, the most eyes. And you must accept reality to own it. Accept it. This also means that there may be a period of time that you're in solitude for a bit. I don't see any collaborative cards here. I know. Tough, sort of. But I'm going to reframe it for you. Especially if you're like, look, all I really want to do is settle down into side character life, get into partnership, dim this fucking sparkle, and live a comfortable existence off in the corner. That is not your true purpose calling, baby. That's your exhaustion. So lay down and sleep, and then get back to me when you're fully rested and you've built your reserves back up and you're really full of sparkle and full of light. Because you're actually not craving partnership at this moment in time. You're craving your own recognition of your main character energy. That masquerades as partnership because you want somebody else to tell you. It's easier that way. But no. For this next phase where you rise up and blow us all away, you're going to be riding solo for a bit. Just for a bit. It could literally be 5 hours. I'm not saying like you're going to be single for the next 5, 10, 15 years, or in your partnership, you're going to continue feeling this weird gap. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that when you commit to being the main character, that desire for partnership will fall away. And then, if and when it's meant to be, it'll manifest just like that without your effort. I want to speak a little bit specifically to your manifestation style too, because you're working way too hard to try to manifest things right now. It's not your style. I'm about to drop some gold on you, so please turn up the volume and listen up. Everyone has a different manifestation style. There may or may not be a masterclass on this topic coming to the house soon. You, as this type of individual, are not the manifester who manifests through effort, through focus, and through will. That is the only style of manifestation that's really been made popular in the mainstream, but it's not the only style of manifestation that there is, and it's not yours. So drop that shit now, okay? You are a passive manifestor, not an active manifester. When you have this much voltage, wattage, whatever, brightness, the way you bring things to you is through magnetism. It's a feminine style of manifestation, not the active masculine projective style. It's the receptive puller inner. If you feel like anything you've been trying to manifest has been blocked, it is because you are overthinking it, overworking it, and overfocused on it. Stop looking at it. Best thing you can do, build yourself an altar in the corner, light a candle, leave that shit on 24/7 and say, all right, it's done. Move on to the next thing and detach. You are not an active manifester. You are the type who just has a thought. You go, mommy like, or daddy like, or non-binary identifying me like. And then it is done. Just like that. That's more of like a sign of things to come than it is a sign that you're supposed to hustle your ass off to get it. It's important to know what type you are. I'm doing you a favor here, my sweet love. I'm just telling you, you're a passive manifester. So this belief manifests as behavior. Sometimes when you realize that you're the world, you do it so well. You just sleep, you just rest, you just flow, you just follow your natural rhythms. You howl at the moon when the moon is out. You put your nose to the grindstone without exhausting yourself when it's a new moon. You know your rhythms. You effortlessly manifest clarity of mind, inspiration, opportunities, all of your dreams. But when you forget who you are, it's the opposite. You can't get anything. You can't make anything happen. You've been struggling to find a new job for the past 2 years. You continually start and stop projects. You're flummoxed. You're fumbling. You're all over the place. That's how you know how in sync you are with your true identity or not at any given time. And finally, how to fix it. Another piece of gold for you, my love. Stop trying. The magician in reverse is try too hard. Just trying too hard. Just trying in general. My love, you're the full moon. You're above trying. Try for nothing. You just breathe. You just are. You're here to shine. All that you need will be brought to you. Test the universe. Let it prove it to you by pulling in all your energy, putting up the biggest boundaries that you can imagine, most loving, and letting everything flow to you. King of Coins tells me that this is your time to manifest wealth. This is your time to manifest abundance in every area, including love. I know what I said about being single, but I'm also telling you, it will come by itself. If that's something you want, truly want, not just because you're afraid to accept yourself as the main character, which is why most of you want it, but if it's something that you truly desire, it's going to just flow when the time is right. All this try hard needs to end. I mean, between Clint Eastwood and Matt Damon here, what is it telling you? Clint Eastwood is the epitome of effortless badassery. He just like slings his revolver around and shoots stuff. And he just does it, and he's Clint Eastwood. And he's like, and everyone's like, oh my God, Clint Eastwood. Matt Damon, I don't know as well. I've never seen The Martian. Woo, I'm failing you. But I have a feeling, I think I know the plot. He like lands on Mars and then lives, right? If he can land on Mars and live, then you can be a creature of Earth and thrive. But the key is prioritizing your health, your rest, your joy. And when it comes to what's blocking your joy, instead of trying to be or do anything having to do with personal, career, relationships, stop trying in all silos. Your joy is going to come flooding into you. The joy of being. You're a full moon. So if you believe in multiple lives, you're one of those last lifers. I don't mean that to be ominous. I simply mean that you've seen a whole hell of a lot already. At this point, your soul is big enough, bright enough, that it doesn't have to do and create and like churn to feel joy and to feel bliss. It's allowed to just settle and rest in the bliss of the nowness. That's what happens when your karma or your actions or whatever have kind of balanced themselves out. That's a talk for another time. Just suffice it to say, your soul is at the point where, unlike many, you're allowed to feel bliss in the moment. The thing is, as humans, we're always in a comparison game. So we look around at all these other souls, including young souls, and we're like, well, if they have to churn and they have to earn and they have to do and it's bringing them so much joy, then I have to be doing all of those same things to feel valid and like a doer and joyful too. No. Who the fuck made that rule up? Are you kidding me? Stop comparing yourself to anybody, anywhere. This is you. Big, great, different, unique, a natural leader, a passive attractor, a passive manifester, someone who's on the brink of so much. We don't have the time. Stop trying. When you're not doing, eating, drinking, sleeping, or working, or spending time with important people who you love, be meditating. Be releasing. Be letting go. Don't be doing just for the sake of doing. Relax. Your greatness is inevitable. Trust your fullness. And watch the show unfold for you. This is how your joy will come flooding in. This should be cracking a smile on your face right now. And if you're freaking out about all the uncertainties and all the unknowns, regulate that nervous system. Start breathing. Find practices to regulate, to relax, to come into the moment. Because your joy was never meant to be the product of your doing. It was always meant to be the thing you experienced just by breathing. That's who you are, Full Moon Crew. Don't compare yourself to anyone else while you're at it. Now, finally, your oracle cards, my love. What you learned from this belief. Now, did we call the belief something? The belief was you believe you're a side character, not the main character. What you've learned now, celebrate. Yes, celebrate under the full moon. Your uniqueness, your differences, your specialness, your ideas, your weird, wild way of being, not of doing. The miracle you now possess. Dragonfly spirit, double 22. We don't reduce that. That's a power number. Truth transcends illusion. My sweet love, you are truth. That's the thing you bring into the room. That's why you overwhelm people. The full moon illuminates. Your gift is that all you need to do is breathe and be alive. To be doing the Lord's work. All you have to do when you enter the room is enter it. Fuck setting all the intentions. That's just for fun. You just walk in and your work here is done. Damn. And then finally, where to spot your joy. It's the Men in Black, 13, reversed. You're going to spot your joy by stopping looking for information. Stop stalking. Stop confronting. Stop trying. There it is again. Stop trying to find. One thing with you, my beautiful full moon crew, is that illuminated knowledge is an aspect of the full moon. For you and who you are, no. Don't do it. You don't need to know more. Take a reading like this, for instance, and then let it be. When you're done, walk away. Focus on getting present. Don't say, oh my God, now they talked about how I'm a passive manifester. Now I've got to go research what it means to be that. No more knowledge acquisition. Seriously. Deep breaths in. Deep breaths out. You are truth, and you know all that you need to know right now. If and when it's time to acquire more knowledge, it will either come to you, you'll passively attract it, or you'll feel inspired, delighted, and invigorated by the process of acquiring it. It will just happen organically. It won't come from a place of desperation or knowledge or need to know, or worse, trying to be someone, trying to do something. Don't try hard, my love. Don't try at all. See, your key is that you're effortlessly whole. And your key is that there aren't a lot of examples for you in this world like that. I mean, aside from yours truly, just kidding. Your key is that, oh, kidding, not kidding. Damn, I need to stop veiling that, man. I'm not kidding. I can relate to you so much, but it speaking from as a friend and as someone whose voltage occasionally is high and whose wattage is occasionally bright, it can be lonely seeming to be this way. However, when you start to really fall in love with yourself as your own soulmate and realize that as the full moon, you're both masculine and feminine, you're both passive and active, you're all, you begin to realize that all is well right here and now. No more seeking, no more trying, no more finding required. And then joy just explodes out of you. You don't need other people to reflect you. Literally, that's not a need that your soul was born with. You're the full moon. What you need is to learn how to dance in your own light. And when you do that, the people will come. This is 4 people right here. They're not alone. And I feel like you need to hear this. You're not going to be alone forever. Not even close. But you're alone right now if you feel alone, so that you can fall in love with yourself. So that you do learn the most important lesson of your life, which is that you are the magic, you are the wholeness, you are that which you seek. The keeper, not the seeker. That is the wisdom for you, my love. And the sooner you realize it, the sooner this shit turns to joy unlike anything you've ever known. Because, baby, joy is your birthright in any circumstance. It cannot be faked. It is a river. Let it drown you. That is where we're leaving it today, my sweet friend. If you liked it, please give me a like. It helps a lot to get this video out to the world. And like you, I'm out here trying to be a full moon. You know, I want to take over the world domination at some point. That's not even a joke. That's very serious. So if you like this video, it helps. If you comment, that helps a lot. If you share it, that's like basically you work for me now. And if you subscribe, then you can keep getting notified of our self-care Sundays where we have a reading every week. And oops, well, there goes that. And also something extra special that's coming in. this week, you'll see, and hopefully in the weeks to come. So that's my speech and my spiel. I love you, and don't forget who you are, okay? Don't forget. In fact, make it your priority to remember it every second. And watch how your joy explodes. I love you, beautiful soul. Bye for now.